Well, we have made it to the end of the year. Wow. I thought last year was an incredible year, but this year has definitely topped it by miles. If you're not familiar with my videos and my work, I do Lego photography, and at the end of each year I have started doing a top 10 countdown of my own favorite Lego photography, as it's kind of a fun way to reflect on the year and look through all the photos that I took that I was really proud of. So starting off with number 10, we've got this beautiful shot of the red truck over at Muriwai Beach, or close to Muriwai Beach. I like this image for a couple of reasons. One, the composition of this nice, very flat, gritty dirt road, and it just sitting in a way that you can kind of see what's in the background of the, nice high trees and a little bit of forestry in the background, and just that contrast of the red truck against the green, lush forest just works super well. I really love this image, and it's also special because in this shoot I was actually, the first time I went to Muriwai, I ended up quitting because basically everything that could go wrong went wrong, and I would return like a week or two later to eventually get some better shots and photos like these. It's just a nice simple image to kick it off. I'm really happy with this image. This needs to be a bit higher. There we go. Moving on to number 9 is this awesome Batman shot. Now, I got this shot with Kiwi Modulars. It was my very first collab, I guess, with another content creator on YouTube. We did a photo battle where essentially we had 3 rounds. Each round would have about 7 or 10 minutes to capture really cool, dramatic Lego DC characters in Auckland City. And yeah, this was a really fun shoot. Both of us got really cool images, and it was really interesting having to pick from a hat and kind of hope you get a character that you recognize, because usually I'm very particular with the characters that I choose for my photo shoots, but with this you get what you're given, sort of thing. So it was very interesting to get a bit more creative in that realm, but very happy I got Batman in the 3rd round, which is where I got this image here. Kind of just encapsulates Batman very well, and this was just on like a potted plant, and then there was these nice tall buildings behind him, and I thought, yeah, this would be a really good spot. And of course the street lamp as well just makes it look so epic, and the bokeh looks so mint. And turning it black and white just makes it better. If you take shitty photos, you just turn it into black and white, and it immediately becomes like this abstract thing, and it just turns any bad image into good. Just a little cheat code for you. It was my best photo from that shoot, and also just the video itself I was really proud of, and being able to do a collaboration with another Kiwi content creator as well, who's within the Lego world, was really cool. So this image means a lot, and although it's sitting quite low on the list, it still means a lot. As most of these images do, they all mean a lot to me. So it's very hard getting this top 10, but this was a favorite of mine for 2025. This was at Riverhead Forest, and it's quite a simple shot, but I think I really love the composition and just the way that this image turned out. I mean, yes, there is one huge problem, and he's holding his hilt the wrong way. I get it. It's supposed to be the other way. I didn't realize when I was shooting. But if you're wondering how I did this, I just put him on a Lego rod and then photoshopped it out afterwards. And yeah, I really love this image because it's kind of a dramatic shot. Also, having a floating element was always really cool. And it's kind of cool how I was able to get the forest to look like it was in scale with the figures. I'm really happy that I photoshopped like a little bit of like a reflection in the trooper's mask to actually look like this character has got a real lightsaber in his hand. And also being able to shoot Kestis was really cool, because I played the game, and just being able to take him into the Lego world, I guess, and kind of like create photos my way was really fun, because I think he's such an interesting and unique character for a Jedi. So that was really cool to work with. So yeah, I really love this photo. I'm probably going to say I really love this photo every single time, but it's just the truth. I love every photo that I take, well, most of them at least. And sticking with the Riverhead theme, we go to number 7, and that is this beautiful shot of Luke and Darth Vader. Now, I love this photo for many reasons. I think one right off the bat is the composition. This year I really played around with the rule of thirds. I'd always have my characters like sitting in the middle for most of my images, but this year I really pushed myself to kind of like play with compositions and also study them, and it was really nice to be able to do that with these 2 iconic characters. And also what makes this even funnier is that this tree branch that they're on is a dead tree, and I actually picked it up from one part of the forest and took it to a better location, which was here. Just that alone was really cool. And although like the rule of thumb when it comes to landscapes is you want the actual landscape to be flat, but for this this, I actually made the tree branch, the flat part in the background, like tilted. You're kind of like shooting on their perspective, because I feel like for Jedis and Sith Lords, they should be able to ground themselves with the Force, and having the camera angled to match the tree that they're standing on, I think just works better for these characters. I don't know, but at least I got the hilts right this time, because I feel this might be a controversial opinion, but I feel like the hilts need to be the opposite way for the Sith Lords and the right way for the Jedi. That's how I've always done it, and that's what I'm always going to believe, so I don't want to hear it. Moving into number 6, we're going with the floating elements again, and this was shot at Hamilton's Gap. I love this image for many reasons. I think, again, the composition just was so sick. I love this location. I'm definitely going back in 2026 to shoot, I don't know what, but I'm going to shoot some pretty cool stuff again. Just the way the landscape looks in the background, one, just looks incredible, and then the platform that the Mando is standing on, I kind of kicked with my own foot to kind of, you know, create that nice like terrain. And the way I've created this terrain is it kind of leads the eye straight to Mando, and I feel like just the positioning and also having the TIE fighter, I think it's a TIE fighter, in the background, just, it looks so sick. It's just kind of one of those shots where it's just like, you don't know what's going to happen. He's got a pistol in his hand, and then he's got, you know, a huge TIE fighter gunning it towards him. So yeah, I love this image so much. I'm saying it over and over again, but it's just, these kind of images where you don't actually see the character's face, and it's like a dramatic, it looks like a poster, you know? I really love this image. Moving on to number 5, probably one of my most sentimental and important images of the year, and that is this image here. If you don't know, I did my first collaboration with Lego this year, and these are one of the images that I took for them. That alone is just important for me for many reasons, as you know, I do Lego photography. I've had Lego for as long as I can remember, and being able to take photos for them was just a dream come true. If you haven't seen the full video of that, I'll leave it linked up. Feel free to watch that. I think I was able to nail the perspective really well, having this little path and have Gandalf and Frodo on the horse here and that nice tree in the background. It just looks so pleasing to look at. It looks like they're in the Shire, which is really cool. And there's like little subtle water particles sitting on the grass, and I really love this image. I'm saying over and over again, but it's so important to me, this image. And it was really cool to do a project with Lego on Lord of the Rings, something that was shot here in New Zealand. Just hoping in 2026 we can do bigger and better things with Lego and Lord of the Rings. That'll be really cool. Sticking on brand with the Lord of the Rings theme, we have number 4, and that is Balrog versus Gandalf. Now, I took this photo for Brixmax, which is a lighting company, which is why you see most of the stuff lit up, and I was able to accomplish all of this just in my garage. I used a few stone tiles, and I used a smoke machine, and I was able to create these really awesome images, and I think this is one of my favorites because it's kind of close to the actual film. And also just seeing the smoke, you know, moving around the Balrog and his big whip, and also the texture of the stone tile, it looks so epic. It's just all about like framing, really, because obviously I didn't have a whole lot of space, but I just used a black background and kind of used the smoke to fill in that negative space, and it was very fun to shoot this one. And it's such an iconic scene as well, like Balrog versus Gandalf is just insane, so it was really fun to kind of experiment and make it as epic and insane as possible, and that's just using a shit ton of lighting and a shit ton of smoke. So yeah, it really did its job, and I feel like this image wouldn't be the same without the, you know, Lego LED lights. So Brixmax really came in clutch for this video. I was always wanting to do this when I first saw the set come out, and yeah, being able to collaborate with them on this was really fun. So strong number 4. Coming in at number 3 is another shot that I took for the Lego group. Do I have to say much? I mean, just look at it. It's so clean. It's so nice. You know, little orange mushrooms and the grass looking nice and green, and Frodo with Bilbo's book. It's so clean. And this is one of the first images that they posted on their grid of like images for my collaboration with them, and yeah, it was by far my favorite one from that shoot for sure. It was a really simple image to take. My only critique with it though is I should have taken the sticks that are like in the background out. It would have made it look a little bit better, but yeah, other than that, I was super stoked with this. I think a good tip to follow is if you're taking photos of like Lego, it's always good to have a bit of foreground close up to the lens. Like you can see at the very bottom, you have like foreground that's out of focus, and then you have the middle ground, which is Frodo, and then you have the background, which is obviously the background. But having foreground that's out of focus really helps the viewer kind of like fall into their world, if that makes sense. So without those mushrooms, I feel like this image would still be really cool, but it's just a pop of color that looks awesome. And the fact that I, again, was able to take this for the Lego group is really cool. So strong number 3. And then coming in At number 2, this was really tricky because there was some strong contenders for number 2, but we had to do it. We had to do it because the space and the bubbles, this was insane. This is one of the earliest shoots that I did, I think maybe April. The original idea was to have him floating in almost like a bowl, and there would be like a bubble on top of him, and you'd see these really intricate like patterns and stuff like that. That's what I thought I was gonna do. And then I realized it wasn't really working and I was getting pretty frustrated, so I left it for an hour or two, and then I came back and I was like wondering if we had him floating and just blew bubbles around him and see what happened, maybe that could be kind of cool, and boy it was. I mean, again, it was hard to choose a Lego bubble photo from the set for this as well. Like, there was so many that I was like so happy with, but I think this one is my favorite because there again is a little bit of perspective. The foreground is almost that bubble that's at the front, and then you have the bubble that is like next to the astronaut, and he's kind of reaching for it, and you kind of see his reflection on it as well. But yeah, this was a really, really cool shoot. I think maybe next year I might try this again, but kind of like throw in some new ideas. Maybe have some like Star Wars characters, or like, different positions where like there's characters like, fighting with all these bubbles around them, and there's some like punching through them and stuff like that. That might be kind of cool. But yeah, this is a very, very cool image. And again, it's kind of fun to experiment with this astronaut character, because last year I did the water tank where he was falling, and again, there being bubbles. So I think each year I got to do some sort of like astrophotography with this guy as like a tradition, Before we get on to the number 1 image of the year, here are some honorable mentions. And coming in at number 1, it might surprise some people, but for me, it was a no-brainer, and that was shooting Barad-dûr at, or close to, Mount Doom. I mean, this shoot was special for me for many, many reasons, because the reason why I got this image was because I broke my, original OG camera, my 700D, got 2017, 2025 on there. Breaking this camera made me come back to Taupo and shoot the Barad-dûr next to Mount Doom. If I hadn't broken this, I don't think I would have got this image. So it was kind of a blessing in disguise sort of thing. And also from doing this shoot was the birth of Bricks of Middle-earth, which, although there's only 1 episode to the series so far, it is by far one of my proudest series that I've started for a whole range of different reasons. I mean, if you haven't seen the video, I'll leave it linked up again, but it took 3 or 4 days to get this image, and it took a lot of planning and changing plans, timing, like literally coming down to like seconds. Yeah, it was really awesome to get this image because, I mean, it was so cool to have Barad-dûr against Mount Narahoe, the mountain that they based Mount Doom off. This is one of my favorite images, and of course I've got it printed up here. So yeah, I'm really hoping next year they bring out some more Lord of the Rings sets and I can kind of do episode 2 of the Bricks of Middle-earth series and see where it takes us. So yeah, that was my top 10 countdown for my favorite Lego images. I just wanted to say, if you've made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for an incredible year. If you liked the video, commented, or even watched a few of my videos, or even watching this one, I'm so grateful, because I really hope that I can, make this a proper career. And every time you like, watch, or share my stuff, it really helps me out. And not only does it help with motivation, but it's also really cool to, be able to post my stuff and, get comments and see how you guys are inspired by different aspects of my work. And it's really cool seeing your guys' images. I could have never have guessed how 2025 was gonna go. Starting the year off by breaking my camera, getting a new one, shooting a campaign for the Lego group, and then shooting a campaign for Clocks and Colors. And then towards the end, doing a collaboration with, Canon, A&Z. They were my top 3 brands that I really wanted to work with, and being able to do them all throughout this year was really, really awesome. I wouldn't have been able to get these opportunities without you guys, genuinely. Yes, I'm the one to take the photos and stuff like that. You guys are the ones that are exposing my work more to the world by liking and sharing and, helping me with all this stuff. So I'm never really good at speaking when it comes to these sort of sentimental stuff, but I genuinely really appreciate anything and everything you guys do. So yeah, 2026. I can't predict what 2026 is gonna hold. I've got a whole list of all the videos that I want to do this year, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited. It's gonna be bigger. It's gonna be better than this year. And yeah, I will see you guys next year. That's really cool to say. I'll see you guys next year. And until then, bye.